Hi guys, hopefully you can see me and hear me. Hello. I'm not staying on long today, and I mean that sincerely, because I've got people letting off fireworks outside and Maddie is absolutely beside herself. So I'm just going to very quickly do my Pagan box unboxing for you. I've got it here. I've got a couple of magazines to show you that have arrived, and I've got some happy mail that I'm going to quickly unbox. But I'm not going to do the Samhain page today. What I thought I'd do is do it on Saturday in the journal chat one, because I've got more time on Saturday anyway. Tomorrow I have to be up really early because I have to do account stuff. And I've got meetings and things in the morning, so I can't really just stay on as long as I want today. Whereas Saturday, you know, I don't work Sundays at all. If at all possible, I spend the day in my pajamas and I don't go anywhere. So with a little bit of luck, Saturday I can start a little bit earlier and I can just keep going for as long as it takes to finish the page. So I think that'll be better. So we'll do the Samhain page on Saturday. And what I'm going to try to do is to get on quite early so that the Australian girls can come and join us. So I will attempt to do an 8 till 11 show on 8 till 10 UK time. Then I'll try and do another one sort of mid-afternoon, and then I'll do the regular show 6 till 8. Okay, so we'll have like 6 hours or so to do Saturday. I will have the whole day Saturday free, and hopefully there won't be any fireworks going off. Maddie is absolutely beside herself. She's curled up around my feet at the moment, shaking like a leaf, so I don't want to be on for too long. So, hello, is that Deb? Hi, Deb. If you want to ask questions or anything like that, please put them in caps so that I see them, otherwise I won't. And obviously, if you don't comment, I won't know you're here, but there are 7 people watching, so hello, welcome. This is the Pagan box. I believe this is the October one, because the September one was the Samhain related. Oh, and I'm sorry if I'm shouting. I can't hear myself speak because one of my ears has gone deaf again. Labyrinthitis and Meniere's. Yay! Okay, let's get on with this. This is, like I say, I think this is the October box because the November box will be the Yule box. So I don't know what theme this one will be. Hi, Cariad. That's a very Welsh name. Are you Welsh? You can never tell online because people don't always use their real names, do they? Oh, right, so here's what we have in this month's box. My paperwork is down at the bottom, so I'm just going to dig that up. Oh, I hope they stop too. It drives me insane because I can't stand repetitive noises. I have Asperger's, and anything that just keeps tick, 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 tick. I can't stand ticking clocks or dripping taps or squeaky doors or anything like that. Anything like that drives me absolutely insane. But of course I can put headphones on. Maddie can't do that. And I can't put music on or the radio on or whatever if I'm filming. So she's only got my voice to cover up the sound. So, poor baby. She used to be alright when we had Gypsy. Because Gypsy was just never scared of anything. And she snored louder than the fireworks. So, it was never a problem. But this year she's not got Gypsy here, so yeah, she's very nervous. She's shaking like crazy and panting and not happy. Poor baby. I don't appear to have we normally have a month's thing. I don't appear to have one, so I'm not sure what the theme is. I'm seeing patchouli and oils and quartz and confidence, and I'd say it was something about self-love, would be my guess. But I don't know, because I haven't got the monthly sheet. I don't think... I'll have to get Terry to email me one so I know what's in it. It's very unusual for them not to put one in. So, confidence bath spell. Let's start with that since I've got that in my hand. So this is sugar, ginger, cinnamon, mint. Add to the pouch and put the pouch in the bath. Say your chant, la la la, do your bit. There you go. So I bet that smells really nice. Ginger, cinnamon, orange oil and mint. Can't use mint, but there's not an awful lot of it in there. I mean, you can see there's very, very little mint in there. So diluted in a bath, that actually probably wouldn't cause me any problems. It would only be a problem if I took this out and held it in my hand or something like that. I'm going to have a sniff. Ooh, yeah, it smells nice. It's a very comforting smell. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that's confidence bath spell. That's that one there. We also have some moon information, which is handy because there was a full moon last night. I actually received this a couple of days ago, so normally you would have received this before the full moon. And it was the harvest moon, and it was a super moon. It was the last of the 3 super moons, so all my crystals were out charging. I'll have to go and get them back in. Yep, so that's just got a very general guide to moon magic. Just a handy little thing for your Book of Shadows. We've got some Nag Champa. Now the blue one is my absolute favourite all-time ever incense. I absolutely adore it. This is the Agabathi. I haven't got my glasses on. I couldn't find them. Oh, it's nice. It smells like the Nag Champa blue, but there's something else in there. But obviously it's a different one, isn't it? But there's something very... I know the scent, but I can't place it. I'm terrible with the names of scents. Hi, Mickey. I'm absolutely awful with the names of scents. I know the smell, and I can never remember the name of it. But that's got a very distinct smell. Sandalwood, maybe? I don't know. It's very nice, though. It's very refreshing, and I've just run out of my blue one, so that'll be handy. I'll have a play with some of that. Let me move my box out of the way so I've got a little bit more room. We've got our candles. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be pink or brown. They're an odd colour. But they're a very autumnal colour. I like that. I've already got my Samhain altar up, so... Anointing oil. Now, unfortunately, because I don't have the sheet that tells me what's in everything, I don't know if this has got anything in it that I can't touch. And it's sealed. Let me have a look. Let me see. It doesn't smell of anything, so it must just be the carrier oil. It's got no scent whatsoever, so it's probably just the carrier oil. And then we have rose quartz. So I think that was supposed to be in there. That's a big hunk of rose quartz. There should be a card here somewhere. Rose quartz, obviously, for self-love and things like that. Harmony. Unconditional love, restore harmony and trust to a relationship. The stone of the heart. So that's very nice. I do like the size of the crystals that you get. Get some really big crystals. They're proper big tumblestone crystals. They're not like little silly things. But at the same time, they're small enough that if you wanted to mount them on a pendant, you know, that's not an unreasonable size for a pendant either. We have, ooh, some more soap. That's good because my Lammas soap is almost out. Again, I can't tell you what's in this because I don't have the paper that has the list on it. So if you want to know what's in it, I'm going to have to ask Terry for the list, and then I'll post the list underneath the video. It smells nice, just very clean and fresh. Yeah, I don't know what it is. My sense of smell is not great. Oh, matching candle holder. Now I've got the goddess one, the silver goddess. So now I've got the... Well, I would say this was for the horned god. Being the opposite, the masculine with the horns. But I like the pentacle. I like the way it's like a Celtic knot. That's pretty. These are really handy. They're just really useful for putting a tea light in, and what I do is I put crystals around it to make like a crystal grid. I've got one on my desk that I use for when I'm working. Depending on what I'm working on, I will put the crystals around it or on top of it. So yeah, it's always handy to have another one. Where should we put that? Let's put that up there, shall we? Patchouli. My favourite. I love patchouli. Used for protection and spirit work. Oh, smells amazing. Fresh patchouli smells so good. So good. Yeah, very nice. I use this a lot in scrying. What else do we have? Oh, we've got lots in here this month. Lots of bits. Yarrow. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not familiar with yarrow. Let's see. What does it... Oh, I can't read that. Oh, there we go. Used for love, exorcism, psychic powers and courage. Use yarrow in a magical sachet and carry it with you for protection when you need courage. Hold the sachet in your hand. Use it in love spells to attract friendship, or clear areas and objects of negative energy. Oh, so you could use it like in a similar way to you use sage if you want to do a cleansing. So if you're having a dumb supper, or as we call it here, a silent supper for Halloween or Samhain, then you could use your yarrow to cleanse the space before you begin. Make a nice change from sage. Because of course sage is... It's a bit controversial. Some people believe sage is the ultimate cleanser, and other people, you know, sage for me is for getting rid of energy, of psychic energy. Well, if you're having a silent supper where the idea is to invite your ancestors and, you know, bring them to the supper and hold them in reverence, then you don't want to get rid of psychic energy. But yarrow is for psychic powers, but also to remove negative energy. So you could remove negative energy from the space with your yarrow before your supper and not upset the psychic balance, which is good. What do we have? Ooh, witch's brew. Witch's brew for headaches. Certain herbs can affect prescribed medication. Please check with a medical practitioner before embarking on herbal remedies. A blend of skullcap, sage and peppermint, which is very nice, but I can't use it. I can't have sage or peppermint because obviously they're flowering mints. It's kind of a cool idea though for witches having a brew tea bag. I should pass that on to one of my friends who can use it, rather than just holding on to it, because I suspect being a tea bag it'll go off. And we've got another one. Relaxing tea, English breakfast, elderflower, rosehip and valerian. Oh, that sounds nice. I might have some of that. I suspect that would be very nice in the evening, actually, as a after work relaxation tea with a little bit of honey. What it smells like. Rose hips are usually very strong, so. Ooh, ooh, yeah, that smells nice. I can't describe it. It just smells nice. Okay, take my word for it. I'm sorry, we seem to have a bit of glare going on. I can't really do anything about that because of the lights and the plastic. Right, so there you go. That's what's in my Pagan parcel. No, sorry, not Pagan parcel. Pagan box for this month. So, quick recap. We've got some anointing oil, a confidence bath spell, which you put the spell into the sachet and put it in your bath. The matching tea light holder, rose quartz, 2 witch's brew teas, witch's soap, which smells nice, but I don't know what's in it. It might have lemongrass in it. It's got that very citrusy smell to it. A couple of candles in kind of a dusky browny pink. Some patchouli. It was worth it just to get this, I tell you. Some yarrow, and of course the Nagchampa Agabathi. I hope I'm saying that right. It smells really nice. I'm going to put some of that on in a minute. So that's November's box. No, October's box. November's box will be the Yule one. So I'll pop these back in. Hello everybody who's joining us. Nice to see you. Just to remind you, I won't be staying on very long today. We've got people letting off fireworks all over the place. They've been at it since 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's driving me mental. Maddie is shaking under the table at the moment, and I want to go and sit on the sofa and cuddle with her and try and calm her down. So I'm just going to do my quick unboxings and things and head off. I'm going to do the Samhain page on Saturday because I can spend all day Saturday, and I can put music on in the other room for Maddie, so that won't be a problem. So I've also got my Spirit and Destiny magazines. I get these every month. They're a UK publication, but I think you can get them worldwide now. And this is November, and this is December. Hi, Janet. Hi, Claire. So as you can see, I haven't taken them out of the bags yet. But I thought I'd give you a quick preview of what's in them in case you want to get them. The November one, I think the December one goes on sale on shelves on the 4th, I think. But the November one will still be up at the moment. So if you're in the UK and you want to get a copy, you should be able to get one. They do them in like Asda and everything these days. All right, Maddles. My poor baby girl, she's terrified. Idiot people. So, magical homes, symbols of love, wealth and happiness, Sixth Sense, fighting fears, tuning into tree magic. That sounds interesting. And then it's got all the regular stuff as well. This is quite interesting, where you talk to somebody and their mentor and how they started in magic. That's very interesting. Dark spirit attacked me. The seasonal spellcasting. This is always usually the interesting section. So they're talking about the 4th dimension. A strife cake spell to end a quarrel. Feast of Isis. Lunan Tishi's ritual. The Night of the Crossroads. Which is Hecate's ritual night. Spell for artistic recognition. This is Marie Bruce has taken over from Silja, who I really liked. I'm not so keen on this girl, but her spells are quite good. I like the way she does them. And she has this thing, the Silver Strand, where it tells you what time to perform the spell and everything. Obviously that's UK time. And then the idea is that everybody performs the spell at the same time and it creates additional energy for the spell and stuff like that. Kind of like a remote coven, if you will. Natural Beauty. Costa Rica. Very nice. Spell for Prosperity. This section is very good as well, the Spiritual Kitchen. It always has a section for the herb of the month and what you can do with it. It tells you what it looks like, what it tastes like, how you can cook with it, how you can use it in magical workings. All sorts of stuff that you can do. And I always take these out, and what I plan to do is at some point draw the herb in my Book of Shadows and then write the information in, rather than just sticking this in. There's nothing wrong with just sticking this in if you want to keep it. I just prefer to do it myself. But the information is there, and then of course I've got other information I can add to it as well. Lichen. Symbols. See, this is another good section for, they always have a single article. And this one is apparently on power symbols. So you've got the Evil Eye, the Triquetra, Yosram, Cornucopia, and what rooms to put them in. So that's quite good. Alternative horoscopes, what have they got on? For using your sixth sense, what's this linked to? Last month it was linked to the Venus and Jupiter conjunction, but there's no major events this month, so no, it's just for connecting with your sixth sense and how, according to your star sign. Then of course you've got your stars for the month. I think this is for, yeah, this is for November. Talking to your puppy. The Spiritual Kitchen section is really good. I wish they'd bring out a magazine that was just on that. Because I would buy that, absolutely. Even if it was only quarterly, I would love to have one of those. How to connect with your dog on a psychic level. Animal telepathy. I've actually done a class in animal telepathy. It's very interesting. Tapping. Has anyone tried tapping? I've tried it a few times, and sometimes it feels like it works, and other times it just feels like I'm distracting myself. And I become overly conscious of the fact that I'm tapping, and therefore I feel like I'm just doing it to, like when you're, you know, like the song, when you're scared, whistle tune. What's that from? The King and I. And Mary Poppins, you know, spoonful of sugar to pretend you're not going to deal with something bad. Yeah. The jury's out on this one. I haven't... It's nice to have a little section on it, because I'll have a look at it and perhaps try a few of it and see how it works. Especially with this, a lot of this is to do with anxiety and panic attacks, which is something that I do deal with. So, I'll play with that. Another section on nutrition. This is usually just general health and happiness section. Sore throats. Happy healing. Healing powers of metals. That sounds interesting. Gold, silver, copper, iron, titanium, and various minerals. It's a bit like colour therapy, but with metals. Be interesting to see if it's linked to the Chinese metals. more health. Everything seems to be health related. Well, it is the mind, body and spirit section, but you know, everything seems to be about how to eat salad. How to control your dreams. That sounds interesting. I don't dream. I dream so infrequently I remember every dream I've ever had. Gems section. So the gem of the month is malachite. And then this tends to just be various articles and things. Oh, these are pretty. There's always an oracle card section, and the artwork is always amazing. Hi, Bren. So these are the Nature's Whispers oracle cards by Angela Hartfield, illustrated by Josephine Wall. I don't use these as cards, but I quite often cut the bits out and use them as collage fodder. I don't use oracle cards, I prefer my tarot. Look at this, isn't this beautiful? Oh, I wonder who did that. Unfortunately, they quite often don't tell you who did the illustrations, which is really annoying. Compiled by photos. Oh, it does have Josephine Wall listed again, so it might be the same girl who did these. It does look very similar. But that's gorgeous. I wonder if you could get that on a print or something. Might have to try and get one of those. Then you have a section where they try something. So they send one of their roving reporters off to try something. Transcendental meditation this month, apparently. And the beginning is all just various bits and pieces, articles, things like that. Agony ants. Attract fairies, a spell for fairy sight. Magical artifacts. Yogam. Oh, I like that. Oh, colouring page. And then they've got the November calendar, so I'm surprised they managed to fill 2 pages with it, to be honest, because there's nothing going on in November. So that's November's. And then December's. Shall I do it from the front to the back this time? I'm lefty, I always do that. Oh, that's interesting. They used that picture last year. I've got her in my book from last year. How weird. Ooh, dragons. So very quickly, there's a general news page. December. Various things that are going on. Ooh, dragon magic. Ooh. Oh, we'll be reading that one. Interesting. Psychic helpline is an agony ants page, basically. Spirit guide. To make millions from your spirit guide, apparently. Page on angels. I usually skip those. I'm not really into angels. I don't understand the angel thing. Because angels are Christian, aren't they? How does angels fit in? I don't get it. I don't get it. What is this? Oh, this is the words. This is the... Oh, what's the word? Oracle. That's the word I was looking for. The Oracle page for this month. For December. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on this and look at this and read the chat, and I've got Maddie shaking at my feet, so I'm very conscious of lots of things going on, so I'm getting distracted. This is actually, even if you don't actually use the oracle cards themselves, this kind of reference stuff is very good, because again, you can keep these pages and just add them to your Book of Shadows. You could even, if you're going to learn crystals, you could even put these onto little cards, like index cards, and add more information on the back or something like that, and have a little index. Page about pets. There's always a page about dying. Angel guidance. I don't get angel guidance. I don't. Yeah. Witch balls. If any dark entities touch the orb, they would become trapped inside it. Crystals section. Selenite is the stone for December, apparently. Yuletide charm. How to set charms on decorations, clear the air. Provoke harmony for your festive thingies. The mind, body and spirit section. So there's always a general section. Then we've got aromatherapy. Again, this is always kitchen witch stuff as well. Who doesn't know that bloating and stomach nausea can be calmed with peppermint or ginger? Does anybody not know that? But again, if you're new to it, you know, this is the kind of thing that you can start up with it and you can look it up. And so like headaches, it's nearly always lavender. So it says 1 tablespoon of grapeseed, 3 drops of lavender, yeah, and 1 drop of anti-inflammatory peppermint. Because headaches are often caused by inflammation of the blood vessels. So you could look that up just as a beginner. You could look that up and say, right, what is it about lavender that causes this? Why is lavender in this? Why is peppermint in this? How is it an anti-inflammatory? So you can look up the physical properties of peppermint. The thing you've got to watch with this is that you have to take into account that. See, there's different. Oh, funnily enough, somebody's just asked the question: are correspondences of crystals fixed, universal, or can they be personal? To a certain extent, it depends on what tradition you follow. To a certain extent, it depends on, you know, the basics. It's hard to describe, but, you know, rose quartz is the universal stone for love in any sense. So whether it's self-love or, you know, friendship or harmony or whatever, if you want to show love in some form, rose quartz is the go-to. So in that sense, it's universal. I prefer to call them go-to crystals because you will have a personal resonance with everything as well. So for a headache, the go-to, you know, the accepted kitchen witch answer to everything for headaches is lavender and peppermint. Unless you're like me and you have a severe allergy to flowering mints, in which case you can't have peppermint or lavender. Lavender is a flowering mint, along with sage, peppermint, and so forth. I can't use that. That would make me worse than I was to begin with. So you have to do your own research, and you also have to try things out yourself. because some things will resonate with you and some things won't. It's no good saying that, oh yes, if you've got stomachache, then you need to have some ginger and peppermint tea. Or if you've got a sore throat, you need to have lemon and honey with ginger. If you don't like lemon, it's not going to do you any good. You're not going to want to drink it in the first place. So you're going to have to find something to substitute the lemon that's going to have the same kind of antioxidant properties. So your closest thing would be another kind of strong citrus, like a grapefruit or orange. Or perhaps a spice like chili or cinnamon. So you've got to try different things and see what works. So yes, there is a go-to, the basis of everything. All correspondences have a basis, but they also have a personal resonance. So I guess the answer is both. They have both. Everything from herbs and crystals and things to astrological signs. You know, yes, Mercury is the planet of communication. It's linked with Gemini, which is relationships and harmony, and it's all to do with, you know, you get Mercury retrograde and communications and things tend to go wrong unless you have no aspect to Mercury whatsoever in your astrology section. So in which case, you know, if you've got nothing in Gemini, nothing to do with Mercury, no correspondences, nothing to do with your third house, then you're absolutely going to have no resonance with a Mercury retrograde. Whereas me, I've got Mercury retrograde on a full moon, on my sun sign, obviously, because it's on a full moon, conjunct my sun on a full moon, is what I'm trying to say. So Mercury and the sun are together and the moon is in opposition to give the full moon. Then I've got Gemini on my descendant in my house of relationships, opposite Sagittarius with Jupiter on my ascendant, maximising everything. So Mercury retrograde knocks me for 6. And then I have a stellium in my third house. So it's just like Mercury retrograde, I might as well just give up and go home. If it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong. And there's nothing I can do to stop it. Whereas if you've only got a small harmonious Mercury influence in your chart, then Mercury retrograde, you know, occasionally you might have you might struggle with doing things like public speaking, or you might find that's a time of quarrels or family disharmony or something, but it won't be the end of the world. You know, for me, Mercury retrograde means my car's going to break down monumentally. My computer is going to blow up, and then my other computer will blow up. My phone is going to end up in a million pieces for no reason. You know, if it's going to go wrong, it's going to happen on Mercury retrograde. And that's not even superstitious. I've got it documented. Mercury retrograde kicks my ass because Mercury is hugely, hugely relevant in my chart. So yeah, there are fixed correspondences of everything, but there are also personal resonances. And the fixed stuff is the go-to for, in general, this will happen. And then you've got your personal resonances, which is obviously to do with you. Does that make sense? And yes, Janet is quite right. Sometimes that depends on what you believe as well. I mean, obviously, some people don't believe that crystals have any effect whatsoever. So others believe that crystals are the only thing that have an effect. But again, to me, that's personal. If you find that crystals resonate with you more than anything else, then that's a personal thing. Whereas in general, crystals can help anybody. I'm like that with tarot. Tarot can help anybody. But in general, you get a reading, it can give you guidance, etc. But I have a personal resonance with tarot. I find that that is my go-to. Nutrition section. Oh, smoothie recipes. Perfect pairings. Red vegetables and fruits are good for antioxidants. Yeah, that should be interesting. Add rosemary to a marinade to block harmful substances. Yeah. How to beat stress. Benefits of walking. Being confident and happy. And there's the horoscopes. A gift buying guide for Christmas. Let's see what it says for. Not materialistic, but you love Christmas. Yeah, that's me. Oh, a terrarium. Wasn't that cute with the little deer and the tree? Oh, I like that. Need some lights on the tree. You can get those little battery operated LED lights, can't you? The little 5 sets. You could put those in there. Tells you how to make it. I like that. That's cute. And would make a nice table centre. Feng shui for Christmas. That's an unusual one. Creating good vibes at your front door. And in your hallway. And all around the rest of the house. I like it. And then we've got the kitchen section. Ooh, sage and onion stuffing. Oh, question. This might sound like an odd question, but what crystal do you think might help with worry and anxiety as I'm trying to deal with mine? I'm not an aficionado on crystals, and it will depend on what you're anxious and worried about. If it's just general worry and anxiety, I would start with something like a rose quartz, which is for self-love and balance and harmony and your heart chakra. And maybe pair it with a green crystal of some sort, a clear green crystal. So something like a green aventurine, or a green agate, a moss agate, something like that, which again is for the heart chakra. So, like I say, I'm not an aficionado on crystals. That would be my go-to. That would be what I would do first before I started looking up, what am I worried and anxious about? If you're you might be worried and anxious in general, or you might find that your worry and anxiety is specifically linked to, I don't know, say financial worries. If that's the case, then you need not something for worry and anxiety, you need something to help you take care of your financial worries, which would be something like a citrine, which is good for dealing with monetary balances and things like that, and dealing with prosperity, encouraging prosperity. And then your worry and anxiety you can deal with differently. But if it's just general worry and anxiety, then yeah, I would go for something, a clear green crystal to develop the heart chakra, and a rose quartz, which is just generally for love, self-love, harmony, balance, feelings of well-being, etc., etc. I nearly always carry a rose quartz with me because I do get a lot of anxiety, and it will just pop up. I get panic attacks out of nowhere. And I'd find that just carrying a rose quartz in my pocket, something that I can hold on to and rub. It's like I was saying about the tapping earlier. It's almost like a distraction therapy. Is the tapping on your acupuncture points actually helping, or is it just that the tapping is distracting you from what's causing your anxiety? And it's a similar thing with crystals. Is the rose quartz really helping, or is it just the fact that you're rubbing the stone causing you to take your mind off the anxiety? The old rubber band trick, where you put a rubber band on your wrist and you pull it when you're feeling anxious about something to snap yourself back into reality, literally. That kind of stuff. Yeah, I hope that helps. Like I say, I'm not an aficionado on crystals. But that would be where I would start. Rose quartz, definitely. If you've got a rose quartz pendant, get it on you and keep wearing it. If you suffer from anxiety, just wear rose quartz, period. I have rose quartz in my earrings because I never change. I've got like 17 sets, 17 different earrings. And I only change my main ones, my main drops. So one of my sets of earrings is rose quartz, so I've always got rose quartz on me. You can also use things like amethyst and stuff. If you put amethyst under your pillow, it promotes good sleep. And if you meditate with amethyst, it will help relax. So, you know, a 5-minute meditation before bed with your amethyst, and then put it next to your bed or under your pillow or whatever, to promote a good night's sleep. That will help with the worry anxiety as well, because anxiety causes you to not sleep very well, which makes you worry because you're tired and you're stressed and you're anxious because you haven't slept. So concentrate on relaxation and getting a good night's sleep as well in conjunction with that, and that should help. And of course, because amazingly people don't think of this, I don't know why, but if you have anxiety and you are not on medication or therapy for it, then you should go and see somebody and get professional help if it is bad. If it's just occasionally you get anxious or occasionally you have a panic attack, then yes, you can absolutely deal with that. If you've had therapy or whatever, you can absolutely deal with that on your own most of the time. But if you've got proper anxiety and it's severe, you should be seeking medical help as well. You have general anxiety disorder, you've had therapy, but every little helps. Oh right, so you're similar to me then. Yeah, I've had CBT for it, I've had medication for it, I've had all sorts of different therapy for it, I've learned, you know, I've even had hypnosis. They've tried all sorts with me. But yeah, like you say, every little helps. But certainly a rose quartz tumblestone in your pocket to rub. In fact, the box this month has a rose quartz tumblestone in it. This is exactly what you're looking for. Something like this. About this size, nice and smooth, that you can keep in your pocket and just take it out and rub it in your hands. And find out which is your receiving hand. Each of your hands will be a receiving hand or a giving hand. So what you want to do is put your crystal in your palm and just hold it there. And after a little while, sometimes immediately, but after a few minutes, it'll start to feel like it's always been there. It'll start to feel right. Or it will start to feel like you're holding a stone. If you're holding a stone, put it in your other hand. Repeat. Now that feels completely odd to me because that's my giving hand. That's my giving hand. That's how I deal my tarot when I'm working with other people. This is my self-help hand. This is me. So this is taking something from the stone. And that feels right. That feels like it's where it should be. It should be in that hand. So work that out as well, and then you'll know which pocket to put it in. Because it'll be instinctive. Once you remember that your stone is there, you will instinctively go for it with the right hand. Or with the correct hand, let me say. Not right hand. The correct hand. But this is the kind of thing you're after. Something like this. Or a necklace that you can rub. Or, you know, anything like that. I rub my earrings. What else have we got? Magic cauldron. Give thanks to your oven. That's an old heartwarming spell, basically. Literally a hearth warming. Interesting. Herb of the month, cinnamon. Obviously this is December, so cinnamon. Fire. Fire rituals for the solstice. That's interesting. Mother Christmas. Ah, so female goddesses linked to Christmas. And she talks about Holda, the Norse goddess. Because post-Christianity, obviously everything became patriarchal. And we ended up with Father Christmas and Saint Nicholas. Although, you know, there are a lot of female saints. Good, I'm glad that's helpful for you, Emma. I mean, obviously, like I say, you need to do your own research as well. But if you are just dealing with general anxiety over everything because you have an anxiety disorder, I don't know why this little fly has come from, but it's getting on my nerves. Then, yeah, go for the go-tos. And eventually you'll find a crystal that you resonate with. The best thing to do is go to a crystal shop and just spend some time in there looking at the crystals and ignore the "ooh, that's pretty" things that you get initially. Talk to the owner if you have to explain why you're there for 2 hours. Because I've had to do that before. They think you're shoplifting sometimes. And I've had to say, no, I'm looking for a crystal and I'm waiting for it to call to me. I'm going to go and have a coffee and I'll come back later. But yeah, spend some time looking at different crystals and touching them and holding them, and find one that makes you feel that jolt of, ooh, that's better. I can't describe it any better than that. It's just, you'll know when you find it. You'll know. And it may not be the prettiest crystal in the box. It may be a really ugly thing. It may not even be your favourite colour. But it will have a resonance with you. And usually if you look up what its general properties are, you'll find that there's some kind of resonance. So say your general worry and anxiety is actually linked to overwhelm, for instance, which is what I get. I can't stand crowds, I can't stand busy environments, too much noise, too much going on. Drives me crackers. Repetitive noises, that kind of thing. So then you can look at crystals that will help you with coping with overwhelm, or specifically dealing with social anxiety if it's going outside and being among people. I don't have social anxiety. I'm quite happy talking to other people. I have a problem with big crowds of other people. I get very overwhelmed. I won't go out in a big crowd on my own. So there's various stones you can look up that'll help with that as well. Year ahead spells, almanac, saturnalia, feast of Holder. A wild jack binding ritual. Oh, that's the forest spirit, isn't it? Wild Jack, Jack Frost. Interesting. I'm not sure why you want to bind Jack Frost. So there you go. That's the Spirit and Destiny for November, December. This one, the green one, is November, the red one is December. And like I said, I think the December one comes out on the 4th in the UK. So you still have time to get the November one if you're quick. And finally, although Maddie seems to have calmed down and gone to sleep now, which is flaming typical, maybe I'll get some art stuff done anyway. This arrived today. Blessing your journals. depends what you mean. I don't specifically bless things, but I do cleanse it. If I pick something up and it feels like it's got negative energy attached to it, I will cleanse it. Some people will, for their magical books, cleanse it regardless. I don't really understand that. But like when I pick up this book, this is the book I'm going to use for my Book of Shadows. Now I've finally found a book that's going to work. I don't feel any negative energy from this. It feels completely neutral. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel bad. It just feels neutral. That's what it should feel. I'm very intuitive. I do psychometry. So, you know, picking something up, I don't feel any negative energy from this, so I don't think it needs cleansing because it has no energy. You can't cleanse something that isn't there. Blessing your journal is a completely different thing, which is why I strayed onto the other one. Cleansing is removing negative energy. If it doesn't have any negative energy, cleansing isn't going to do anything. You can bless your journal to encourage positive energy. So bringing in positive energy to a neutral space. This feels completely neutral. So yes, I would probably put some kind of book blessing in here. I wouldn't do a blessing ritual necessarily, although I might do a crystal grid on it and put it under the full moon, which is what I did last night. I put my crystals on top of it. Yeah, again, cleansing is only balancing if it's out of balance in the first place. But it's not just about the journal, it's about you. So perhaps it's not the journal that needs cleansing, it's your feelings about the journal that need cleansing. Yeah, it is similar, but no, I think it's distinct, different things to me. If something has negative energy, it needs cleansing. Just the same as if your kitchen is dirty, it needs cleaning. If it's already clean, it doesn't need cleaning. But some people will clean it anyway, just because it'll make them feel better. It's not about the fact that the kitchen needs cleaning. It doesn't need cleaning, it's clean already. But it will make you feel better to clean it. Do you see the difference? And then blessing it is completely different. That's almost like, that's attracting good energy in. So, you know, you put your knickknacks up, you dress it up how you want, you put your pictures up, you put your table how you want it, you put flowers in the window, whatever, that makes it your space. So it's kind of three separate things. One is about getting rid of old energy or bad energy or negative energy or just making the space not somebody else's to make it neutral. And the other is about bringing in your things to it to add positive energy or make it your space. For me, that's two different things. Because you can't cleanse energy. How can I put it? It's like what I was saying with the yarrow. If you use sage to cleanse your area, sage is a psychic cleanser. Okay, it's like bleach. That's why everybody uses it for cleansing spaces. It will clean everything. Now that means good, bad, whatever. It's like antibiotics. Antibiotics kill all bacteria, all biotic enzymes, whether they're good or bad. That's why after a course of antibiotics, you're encouraged to eat yogurt and regain the good bacteria into your system, because the antibiotics will kill it. Sage does the same thing. Sage will kill all psychic energy from a space. Which, if you want to start again, because that makes you feel good and that makes you claim your space, then that's great. Or if place has negative energy specifically, then you wouldn't necessarily want to use sage, because you wouldn't necessarily want to get rid of the good energy that's there. There might be good energy in with the bad. So you'd use something like yarrow to get rid of specifically negative psychic energy. So anything else that you've got there, like guardian spirits or, you know, good spirits that are in the background that are unable to come through, won't be got rid of as well. Sage is the antibacterial of cleansing, which is great if you want to get back to neutral and start again. And you want to get rid of everything, both good and bad. Does that make sense? Yeah, basically, this is already clean. There's no energy in this. It's clean. And as I start writing in it, it will have more. It'll have my energy. I did do a positive charge on it last night because it was a full moon and I had my crystals out anyway, and I put all my quartz crystals out to recharge them anyway. So I thought, well, I'll put my journal underneath it, and I just put it on the windowsill under my crystals just to pick up on the moon energy, because it was there. I wouldn't normally bother specifically and think, oh, I can't use this until the full moon. It just happened that, you know, I thought, well, I'm going to use it tomorrow. Oh, I know. It's the full moon, I'll put it under my crystals for a recharge, or for a charge up to start with. I suppose for me it's like getting a new phone. It's always charged already. So if you want to take it out and start playing with it, you can, but in order to set it up fully for what you want to do with it, you have to charge it up and add positive energy. And cleansing doesn't add positive energy, it takes away negative energy and positive energy, depending on how you do it. This is not supposed to be a teaching class, people, but somehow we keep getting onto those subjects. I don't mind answering questions. I'm just, you know, bear in mind, I don't count myself as a teacher of witchcraft. I am a solitary practitioner. I do my own thing, and, you know, other people believe other things. I'm also not Wiccan either, so a Wiccan would never ever use a book without doing a book blessing and a cleansing. This is from Tracy Reinhardt. I don't think Tracy's here today. She might be lurking. Hello, Tracy, if you are. She drew some pictures. Oh, she's here! She's lurking. She watches me on the big TV, you see, so she doesn't usually have her chat open. These arrived this morning, Tracy. Look what she's done. Look what she's done. She's done pictures. Oh! She's done pictures of my boys and girls. Look. Oh, God. Have you sent me all of them? Crikey. So these are the best two, she said, that she's done. Doesn't that look just like Maddie and Scooby? Isn't that amazing? That is spot on, Tracy. That is so Maddie. And you have really managed to capture his sceptical look. That was very difficult to do. You did it on the first try. And then you kind of lost it in the middle ones. But yeah, you've got it back again. He's just that really sceptical look of him. What you doing, Mum? Oh, these are gorgeous, Tracy. Thank you so much. These are fabulous. I'm going to get these framed. And these are the sketches that you did to start with. I love this one. That one looks just like Scooby, even though it's the back of his head. I could not get over that one. These I'll probably put in my journal, or possibly even in my... Well, I might frame these as well, actually, because they're all really nice. Yeah, these are more sketchy. These are very, very professionally done. These are like top quality, beautiful work. These are sketches. So these are the two best sketches that you did. The two that I liked. These are gorgeous, Tracy. I really like these. These are fabulous. That looks so much like Scooby. So much like Scooby. And yet it's the back of his head. It's amazing. You are very, very talented at this, Trace. Incredible. I love the two finished ones. I really do. These are beautiful and they're going to be gorgeous to sit to frame and put up on the wall together. They're just going to, I think they need to go that way round. Yeah. They're just going to look absolutely fabulous on the wall. They are proper pieces of artwork. I love them. But honestly, I love the energy in these two. That looks just like Maddie does when she sits up and looks for a belly rub. That is my girl and my boy. It's amazing. And you should see the colours in all these. She's got like Scooby's fur. Look at the different colours she's got. She's got turquoise and purple and yellow and gold and red and all sorts of different colours in there. He's a brown and black dog, but she's got all these bloody colours in there. It's amazing. Every artist wishes they could see colour like that, Trace. I tell you, that is a skill. That's not something you can learn. That's something you can either see it or you can't. I wish I could see colours like that, I really do. And this one, she's got, like Maddie's black and white with brown bits. But there's all sorts of different colours in there as well, look. But to me, this one, both of them look like, he looks like he's panting. Like literally, you could see him panting. And she looks like she's in the middle of sitting up asking for a belly rub. They look like they're about to move. Absolutely fantastic. Whereas these look like portraits. And they are exceptionally good. But again, look at all those different colours she's got in Maddie. That's what I was trying to achieve the other day when I was doing this. And I said I wanted to do a black dog, but with different colours. That's what I was trying to achieve with this. And she's done it. Look at this. She's got pink, she's got purple, she's got teal, turquoise, yellow, gold, white, pink, black, obviously, dark purple, navy. There are so many colours in this, I can't even count them. It's incredible. But like I say, these look like professional portraits, which is fantastic. These are, yes, dynamic. That's the word I was looking for. They're very dynamic. They look like they're about to move off the page. I think they're fantastic, Tracy. You've got one hell of a talent there, girl. And to think this time last year you were all, oh, well, I'm just going to draw some Christmas decorations in my Hobonichi because I used to do art and I quite like colouring. Now look. Oh, they're fantastic. Thank you so much, Tracy. It's really, really nice of you. I should put those up on the wall in pride of place. I've been looking for something else to put on my wall over my shoulder in videos, and I think that'll be part of it. I'm going to move my red flag and put it over on the other wall where there isn't anything, and I'm going to decorate that wall with some more artwork. Actually, I might put my artwork behind me on the wall, and then put these. Oh, those don't go in there. That's why. And then put these on the wall opposite the sofa so I can look at them. It is practice and repetition, that's all it is. But girl, you were good out of the gate. It's great that you're a perfectionist because it brings out the best in what you do, but honestly, you should be so much more confident about your sketches as well. You really should, because these are phenomenal. I would have been perfectly happy with just these. I absolutely adore these and they're beautiful, and you could certainly sell these. You should be charging money for these. Even if you give it away to the rescue, you should be charging money for these, girl. But yeah, I would have been perfectly happy with just these. They're beautiful. I think you started Maddie about 3 months ago, but then you had commissions, didn't you? But I didn't ask for these. Tracy just decided she was going to draw them for me. So there was no rush or anything. But commission work, you have to take into account that some things are more difficult than others. No, a month isn't a long time for a commission at all. Not when you think how... Because she doesn't know the dog. She's got to get to know the dog through sketching it first. To draw this, it takes, 5 or 6 of these colour sketches and a dozen or more pencil sketches just to start getting the thing right. Yes, it was. It was. It was back when I moved the second time, so it was August. End of July, beginning of August, because you said to me, I've done you a housewarming gift. I've started you a housewarming gift, and then I moved again, and I said, don't send it yet, because I'm moving again. And you said, okay, I'll do Scooby as well then. Yeah, so it was about sort of end of July, August. But 3 months isn't a long time for a commission. It really isn't. If people were looking for something from me for Christmas, I would be telling them, if you haven't ordered by Halloween, you're not having it. It's not going to happen. And the thing with compliments, you just smile and say thank you. That's all you do. You just smile and say thank you. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to justify it. They've given you a compliment. Just accept it. If you feel you must qualify it with something positive, like, thank you, I really enjoyed working on that one. Or, thank you, I was pleased with how the colours came out. Thank you, I liked how the collar looked on that particular dog. Add something positive to it to reinforce it. Don't get all blushy and, oh, yeah, but I'm not as good as I want to be. I had to draw 50 of them before I got it right. Artists do that, okay? It's not like knitters where you just find the right yarn and you sit down with the pattern and you start knitting and occasionally you take a row back. It's not like that with art. You have to get to know the subject. And that must have taken a lot of work. Well, if you ever need encouragement, Tracy, just come and talk to me. Or Vicky, because Vicky was blown away. She was absolutely blown away by that picture of Hank, and so was I, because it was so obviously Hank. And I don't think anybody could say that wasn't Maddie or Scooby. It's immediately obvious. It's phenomenal. Get on with it. Yes, next year's word, Tracy, believe. Self-belief. Get on it. Put some rose quartz in your pocket, woman. Right. Now see, I'm all energised and ready to go, and Maddie's sleeping under the desk because she's got all comfy and she can't hear the fireworks going off under the desk. Let's start the book, shall we? Let's get... Oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay. Sorry, that was Mummy. Mummy banged the desk. I'm sorry. Right, so this is my Believe journal. I haven't transferred anything into it yet. I have decided to go with... Oh, let me get the other one, just for those who haven't seen them yet. Oh, there it is. Hang on. Good girl. Where's your good girl? Right. So this is my original one. I adore this book, but seriously, this paper, no. What I've decided to do with this, is to take this paper out and try and rebind it. I hate this paper. Just no. So all of this that I've already put in here, I need to transfer to this book. Which is not a lot, because I got so frustrated with the paper, I just couldn't. I don't know what that expression means when you're like, I just can't. But if it means anything, it means working in this book. No, I just can't. I hate it. I don't want to work in it, which is why it's taken me almost a year to do that much. You know, I normally do 30 pages a month at least. So I need to transfer this over into my other book. This is the other one. So one has, for those who haven't seen it, because I know some of you don't come on Saturdays, this is my Believe journal. It's the little cheap 475 page A6 journal. Well, it's not A6, it's 6.5 by 4.5. That you get on, you can get it on Amazon, eBay. The A6 one is easier to find. AliExpress do it. Lots of independent sellers do it. You'll find it all over the place. The little A6 ones, 475 pages, gold bound, gilded edges, case bound and glued with 2 bookmarks, and they are called Bible journals. They are specifically for Bible journaling. I'm just using this as an ordinary journal. And then somebody sent me these two, which are the A5 versions, which I didn't even know existed. This is the gold one, exactly the same. 475 pages, black front and back, 2 bookmarks in brown and red. Exactly the same book, it's just bigger. So for size reference, this is A5, which is half of A4. Near enough half letter size. This is 6.5 by 4.5, which is the size of a digital print. A digital camera print, photograph. So you can see it's a bit bigger. This is the same size as Filofax paper, large A5 Filofax paper. This is the same, but it's got a grey edge. I wish it was silver. I would prefer it if it was shiny. I really would. But look at it inside, it's beautiful. It says, "Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind," which is that... Oh, it might be from the Bible, might be from Shakespeare, I don't know. I'm sure it's from the Bible, isn't it? Love is... It's that whole thing from the Bible. Is it Hebrews? Come on, somebody help me out. Somebody must know. No, mind you, it's Witchy Wednesday. We might not have any of the Christian girls in. Somebody must know. It's that whole poem. Love is not... Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is... Looks not with the eyes, it looks with the mind. Love is not... Oh, come on. Somebody help me out here. You're useless. What are you... I'm sure it's a Bible verse. Or it could be Shakespeare. Maybe it's Shakespeare based on a Bible verse. Sonnet 116. Love is not love which alters when alteration finds or bends with the remover to remove. That's what I was thinking of. But that's not it. That's not what that's from. Oh, okay. That is Shakespeare. Yeah. Song of Solomon, isn't that? I'm sure that's a Bible verse. In fact, I'm sure I've seen it on Bible covers. You have to find it now. There we go. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Yeah. Corinthians 13, 4-8. Thank you. I'm faster on Google than you are. But that's not a quote from that either, is it? Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind. Apparently, that specific quote is Shakespeare from Midsummer Night's Dream, according to this. But they're both the same. I mean, they both mean the same thing, don't they? Thank you for those who looked it up. Helena, Midsummer Night's Dream, Act 1, Scene 1. Love looks not with the eyes but with mind, in her soliloquy. Okay. Well, at least we figured out where that's from. Because that would have bugged me otherwise. Anyway, back to the book. The thing that appeals to me about this book is it's got the edging on, like I did with this. I did this with distress inks, just using the ink pads all around the edges to distress the page. Because I wanted specifically that look. And I really like this, but not convinced about the lines. I think I could work with them, but I'm not 100% sure. Whereas this one I know I can work with. This is the safe option because I know this will work. So what I'm thinking is I'll use this as my general book of shadows, and perhaps use this for things where I need to write tables of correspondences and things like that. So I could do things like recipes and stuff I could put in here. But then the ingredients I could put in here. So I could have a page on patchouli, you know, specific herbs that I use and I work with and I have specific resonance with. Stuff like that. You need to write in capitals for me to catch your questions. I don't always see them, Alda. Do you incorporate any ideas or concepts from the Bible in your craft? Not specifically because it's the Bible or anything like that, but every religion that has a moral basis covers the basic principle of do unto others. Do unto others as you would do to yourself. It's a universal principle. That's how it's said in the Bible. Karma. What you give out comes back to you. Harm none. Do what you will, but harm none. It's all the same. As long as you're not causing harm to anybody, you can do whatever you like. And by that, it means harm to yourself as well. It's a universal principle. It's in every single religion. Will Wheaton covers it. Don't be an asshat, basically. It's Wheaton's law. Oh, now how does he put it? It's called Wheaton's law. Don't be a dick. There you go. Will Wheaton. The universal law of mankind. Don't be a dick. Thank you, Sylvia. I think there's a delay on the chat. I think you're actually quicker than me, but my delay is very. Yeah, it's Will Wheaton. It's Wheaton's law. Will Wheaton. I love him. I think he's fabulous. But it's a universal concept in all the religions. Every single religion has the same thing. There's actually a Facebook meme. I wonder if I can find it. There's a Facebook meme that has all the different religions and the different versions of it. There it is. Where did it go? There it is. There we go. The golden principle. Baha'i faith, lay not on any soul a load that you would not wish to be laid upon you. Islam, not one of you truly believes until you wish for others what you wish for yourself. Judaism, what is hateful to you, do not do to your neighbour. This is the whole of the Torah. Jainism, one should treat all creatures in the world as one would like to be treated. I can't even pronounce that one. Do not do unto others whatever is injurious to yourself. Native American spirituality. We are as much alive as we keep the earth alive. Unitarianism. We affirm and promote respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. It's all exactly the same thing. Do unto others. Christianity. Sikhism. I am a stranger to no one and no one is a stranger to me. I am a friend to all. Taoism. Regard your neighbour's gain as your own gain and your neighbour's loss as your own loss. Confucius, even Confucius had it down, look. One word which sums up the basis of all good conduct is kindness. Do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. Buddhism, treat not others in ways that you would yourself would find hurtful. Hinduism, the sum of duty, do not do to others what would cause pain if done to you. It's in everything. Walk a mile in his moccasins, exactly. And I think, as Will Wheaton says, don't be a dick. So yeah, in that respect I do. I was raised Catholic, but I don't really, other than the general moral codes, like that one, I don't really adhere to the Bible in any way, because Catholicism doesn't use the full Bible anyway. We only use the Old Testament, and the Old Testament is weird. Leviticus, specifically. If you ever want a good laugh, go and read Leviticus. Do not mix your polycotton blends, damn it. Hello, Scoob. Oh, do you want to sing? Hello. You want to sing? Come and sing to everybody then. Sing, sing. You singing? Tell Tracy if you liked your picture. Did you like your picture? You did? There you go. Yeah, the Bible is a Christian concept. It doesn't really have anything to do with me. In the same way that it's hard to describe. Because I am eclectic. I am eclectic. So the principles of the Bible are there. I don't specifically believe in God and the devil as it is in the Bible, or angels, but I do believe in similar concepts of higher beings and lower beings, spiritual negative energy basically, and spiritual positive energy, which is what angels basically are. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. I more incorporate things like Buddhism. Buddhism is not a religion, it's a philosophy. And that is much more... Yeah, even outside of religion, it's what your moral compass is. That's exactly what it is, Tracy. The basic law of human nature says, if you don't want it done to you, don't do it to other people. And it's the basis of all religion. But even outside of religion, that should be your basic moral compass. But no, in terms of... It's a difficult question to answer, really. Because I do include some aspects. I mean, I love things like the Song of Solomon. I really enjoy parts of that. But you see, the difference is the belief system, I suppose, because a Christian would wholeheartedly, I suspect, believe that the Bible is the word of God as given to man through various prophets and writers and blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that. I think it's a man-made construct. I don't believe it's divinely gifted or whatever. I think it's the same as an artist writing a song or painting a picture. You know, the Song of Solomon is beautiful in its own right. It doesn't matter that it's in the Bible. It is a beautiful verse. The Book of Revelations is an incredible read. It's the highest fantasy. It's fantastic. Rowan Atkinson doing the Song of Solomon, yeah. Even when he's being serious, he sounds funny. It's hilarious. Well, yes, because for the benefit of people watching later, I'm exactly the same when it comes to my craft. I was raised atheist, but taught to follow moral codes. Yes, because moral codes have nothing to do with God or religion. Moral codes are the basis of the reason we have constructs of religion. A moral code is a basic pack mentality, if you like. Back in the Neanderthal times, when, you know, man existed solely based on what he could hunt and what he could cook and how many of his tribe there were to fight against other tribes who were trying to take what they had, you relied on your nearest and dearest. Your basic moral code was, I don't want this done to me, so I'm going to look after them in the same way that they would look after me. You find it in every walk of life. The Marines. No man left behind. It's the basic construct. And it's ingrained morals. You don't need... it's a big philosophical debate. Do morals create religion, or do religion create morals? But I'm sorry, if you don't know the difference between what is basically good and what is basically bad, there's no religion is going to help you. Nothing is going to help you if you do not understand the basic difference between what is good and what is bad. But good and bad also depends on your society and how you were brought up and what other people around you believe. And again, that comes back to doing to others what they would do to you. It's about the core of where you grew up and what you believe and everything else. Which is why I think there are so many fights about religion. Because your moral compass started off as a basic, I think it might be wrong to kill stuff. And then religion changed it to, well, actually, it's okay to kill stuff if they happen to be a witch or a heathen or a Muslim, or, you know, it's okay to kill them if they happen to not believe what you believe, or it's okay to kill them if they happen to be the wrong skin colour, or, you know, all of that has come from religion. That's what I think. Others may disagree, and you're welcome to, but that's what I think. But yes, in terms of what I incorporate into my book, it's much more about Buddhist philosophy. And if anything, the book that I use more than anything is the Discworld novels from Terry Pratchett. I am a headology witch. If you don't know what headology is, go and look it up on... Hi Nikki, good grief, what time is it there? Are you really early or really late? Is it 4 o'clock in the morning again? Nikki's in Australia. Yeah, I use the principles of headology more than anything, which is the Granny Weatherwax from Discworld. I talked about this last week, but basically headology, it's similar to psychology in that you don't need to expend the energy creating a spell if you can make people believe that you've cast a spell and that's why things are happening to them. It's not about not being able to, it's about knowing when it's appropriate to or when it's necessary to. And a really good witch, not good as in good or bad, but good as in good at her craft, should never, well not never, but shouldn't ever need to really cast a basic spell. It should only be for really complex stuff that you should need to do spells. Everything else should be able to deal with headology. What's that? That one that the quote from the book actually is about headology versus psychology. They're very similar, but if you went to a psychologist and said you would be chased by monsters, he'd try to convince you that monsters didn't exist. Whereas if you went to a headologist and said you were being chased by monsters, they'd hand you a bat and a chair to stand on. Whereas you would think that a witch would cast a spell to get rid of the monsters, wouldn't you? But it's not about that. It's about teaching people to cast their own spells themselves, do their own thing, by empowering them, by telling them the right things, telling them what they want to hear in order to perpetuate what they need, if that makes sense. It's more complicated than that. You'd have to read the whole of Discworld to understand it. Anyway, I'm going to keep this one for correspondence tables and things because I think the lines would be much more suited to a reference book where you've got like planetary symbols and what they mean and what they correspond to, and house symbols and what they mean and what they correspond to, and the tarot basic meanings and crystal basic meanings and stuff like that. I think that would be much more suited to this. Whereas the kind of stuff I would put in my book of Shadows is more this kind of stuff, which is my belief on headology, the Norse Read, which I happen to prefer that to. I don't like the Wiccan Read. I don't believe in the god and goddess specifically, or rituals, or the rule of three even. I don't believe in the rule of three. I believe that in an eye for an eye. What you give out comes back to you. There is no times three. Times three is just to me, that's on a par with Christians saying, well, if you don't do this, you go into hell. You don't need a stick to beat people with. Let them use their moral compass and encourage positive energy. And that's what this is about, The Norse Read. It's the Read of Honour. You can look it up online. I'm not going to read it all out. And then I've got the thing on headology. Again, if you look up headology, Granny Weatherwax, on Wikipedia, you'll get most of the quotes. I've actually written a whole essay on it that I might put into my book of Shadows. The moon and her influences, because I'm a lunar witch, so I have specific correspondences. Again, it comes back to the go-to is that, the full moon is a good time for completing and bringing forth confidence and stuff like that. The new moon is a time for sowing seeds and so on. But I have other ways of using it because I've been using the moon for so long. I've developed kind of a personal relationship with the energy. So I have certain herbs and oils and things that I use. The go-to is that witches' familiars are cats. my last familiar was a dog. You know. So I think this kind of more general stuff will be good in this book. And then incorporate in this things like my tarot readings and my journaling and stuff like that. And in this one, put in specific correspondences. And what I'll probably do is create an index and number this one and everything, so that when I write in here, you know, I don't have to, for a specific spell, write out, I'm putting this in because it's going to do this and this is what it's for. Hi, Claire. You know, and this is why I'm using patchouli for this, that and the other. I can just do a list and do the spell. Here it is. And, you know, here's the page reference numbers for looking up. And then you go to this one and you look it up and you go, patchouli, what's that for? You know, and it's all listed there. So I think that would be a better way of doing it, because as I develop spells and things, I tend to use combinations of herbs rather than just this for this and this for that. These two together will create the specific energy that I'm trying to create. So those two in combination will go in here. That's my plan. And what I've done is I've just taken a good chunk. I just picked up the book and I took a chunk like that. You see where it naturally fell open? I've just taken that chunk. And that's the chunk that I will use for, you know, things like my Norse Read, my Headology, things like that. And then everything else I'll put back here. And instead of doing it like, oh, here I'm going to have a section for spells, and here I'll have a section for tarot, and here I'll have a section for this, and then I can't stand sections. It drives me nuts. I'm just going to put it all in like chronological order, like a journal, and start at the beginning of the Wheel of the Year. So that was why I was talking about doing a Samhain page, because then I'll work on it through November, December, and then we'll have a Yule page eventually. And if I think I need more pages, I can always just pencil in what I wanted to write on these pages. But eventually I'll get to the point where, you know, it's next Samhain, and here we go, here's another page for Samhain, and I can write some more stuff in it. I don't have to do everything right now. I don't have to do it all this year, right now, everything to do with Samhain, because I should be learning constantly. Granny Weatherwax had never heard of psychiatry and wouldn't have had no truck with it, even if she had. There are some arts too black even for a witch. Yes, exactly. She practiced Headology, practiced in fact until she was very good at it, and though there may be some superficial similarities between a psychologist and a headologist, there is a huge practical difference. A psychiatrist dealing with a man who fears he is being followed by a huge and terrible monster will endeavour to convince him that monsters don't exist. Granny Weatherwax would simply give him a chair to stand on and a very big stick. Exactly. And there's another quote from her about her where it says, she was a very good witch even though she didn't cast spells. And some people who had not been seen again, who had often not been heard from again, had said that perhaps she wasn't able to cast spells. But the truth was, she was so good at casting spells that she only had to make people think she'd cast a spell, and they assumed she had. And they would assume that all the bad luck or all the good luck or whatever that was happening to them was her fault. Yes, thank you, Tracy. I love them. I'll put pictures of them up when I've got them on the wall. I'm going to get some frames for them and put them on the wall. I'm going to be stopping soon anyway, because I'm hungry. And we've run out of time. I could stay on till 9 o'clock, but I'm absolutely starving. And if it's anything like last night, round about 8:30, fireworks will start again. So you're only missing about 15 minutes. Thank you for joining us, and thank you so much for my pictures. I absolutely love them. So, where was I? Yes, I'm going to start with a a page and things like that. I'll put my book blessing in here now that I've done some stuff. I mean, I've got my book blessing is written on a piece of vellum. So it's a tiny bit too wide. Just about there. So if I grab my... So I haven't tidied my desk, so I don't have anything out even, because I wasn't expecting to stay on. I might do some of this tonight, actually. I just feel like working. One of the things we're doing next year for When Frogs Sing 2016 is we're redoing the planners section and the writing section, because a lot of people said they would have been interested in doing one or the other, but not all of it together. And some people are not interested in doing art, but they want to do the planning. So I said I would rerun them. But it's a project planning thing, so you need a project to do. All right, thanks, Nikki. Again, you're only missing about 10 minutes because I'm going to stop in a minute. A lot of people said they wanted to do the planning section and do a project for the year. So it'll be rerunning the same videos, but I will be doing a new project alongside it. Last year I did the happiness project. I think next year I'm going to do a spiritual project. I want to do the Timothy, what's his name? He's got a book out. I think it's 101 days. No, a year and a day book. Where you have a reading every day that you read. Because I thought that would be a good one if people want to do, you know, reading books and taking notes, just general reading books. If you want to do a Bible study project or a Torah study, or, you know, anything like that, anything that is book related, would lend itself really easily to that. So let me just grab my scissors here. No, that's not going to work very well. Let me do it this way. Craft knife. I opened some boxes with it earlier, so it should be here. Oh, craft knife, where are you? Hello. Big old craft knife. Big old craft knife, where are you? There it is, I found it. You just get a straighter line on vellum if you do it this way. Let's do it the non-slip side, shall we? Oops. There we go. And I'm not going to waste the washi tape by taking it off. I'm just going to... What have I done with my book now? Blimey. You can tell I wasn't prepared for doing this, can't you? I'm going to just put some glue on there. And stick it on there. Ugh, got the shakes because I'm eating. There you go. My book blessing transferred. And I wrote my own book blessing. I just write a short 2-line rhyming thing. Just do a quick 2-line rhyming thing. Two lots of 2 rhyming couplets. And in this one I've put, in this tome I write my creed, always minding word and deed, ritual, knowledge, thought and spell, all within this book do dwell, where none but mine own eyes may see, as I will it so may it be. It's really easy to come up with 3 rhyming couplets, trust me. You just write a list of what you want for your book. So what did I want for my book? I was going to put my own creed in it, being careful of what I put in here and being mindful of what I do. Rituals, knowledge, thoughts, spells, all in here, all in one book, just for me to look at. That's what I want. And that's it. So now my book is started and I can start writing in. Might do some of that tonight because I'll be using my dip pen and I'll just sit and write while I'm watching TV because I'm just copying it out of my other book for now, what I've done so far. And then obviously when I'm working on stuff I will do it mindfully as if I'm studying, but when I'm just copying stuff over or just drawing stuff I tend to do that while I'm watching TV. And then on Saturday, since it is Halloween weekend, we can do our spread for Samhain decorations. So I might do like maybe half a dozen pages, maybe 3 or 4 pages. Just one front page for Halloween, maybe with a tab, not sure yet. And then just do some basic stuff like whatever I'm doing, whatever spells or whatever I'm doing for Halloween, whatever, you know, just whatever I'm doing that pertains to this year. And for various reasons I'm doing a lot of protection spells and psychic energy spells this year because my totem animal for this year, and my year doesn't run from Samhain, it runs from Imbolc, because I'm born at Imbolc on a full moon. That is when my time of year starts. September to February is my studying time. It's kind of like my downtime. But for this year, my totem has been an elephant, which has been all to do with family and home and place in the world and all that kind of stuff. Grace under pressure and etc. But lately, I've had crows and ravens coming over all over the place. For those who haven't met him, here's my raven. Watch his eyes. Isn't he awesome? He's got a sensor on him. I don't have him on when I'm filming, obviously. But normally I have him on when I'm filming, so he chats to me during the day. He's great. That's Quoth. His name is Quoth. Yes, that's from Terry Pratchett. The raven in Terry Pratchett is called Quoth. Quoth the raven. So yeah, this will fill up kind of like an overall introduction type thing, and this will fill up as a journal throughout the year. That's what I'm hoping to do with it. And then all the detritus will go in the other book, all the correspondences and things like that. When I need to write a page because I'm doing some research, or I've got some patchouli. So I'll probably draw a picture of patchouli in here and just do a page or a section on, what patchouli is, what it's about, blah, 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 blah. But all the research that I do, I'll do a page on patchouli that will be almost completely handwritten, and I'll cross-reference them. because I do research, because I'm a nerd. Anyway, yes, I'm hungry, otherwise I would stay for a little bit longer. But what I'm planning to do for Samhain, I actually found this. This was from Spirit and Destiny in September, I believe. September, yeah. And it was all about hoodoo. But for me, Samhain is all about ancestors. So I thought maybe this section here would be good to use. I like the Day of the Dead skull with the candles around it and the big candles and the flowers in the background. I thought that section would make a really nice page. And I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to collage this or whether I'm going to sketch it. What I might do is sketch it out ready for Saturday and then paint it on Saturday and colour it on Saturday. Or embellish it or ink it or whatever. I don't know. Haven't decided yet, but that's what I was kind of thinking I might do. I like this section here. And there's another section over here that you can incorporate bits and pieces if you wanted to do 2-page. So I could do that on the left and this bit on the right. And it's got a little hoodoo doll, sorry. Voodoo and hoodoo, not the same thing. This is something I'm researching at the moment, actually. That's something else that's been cropping up. Again, there's a lot of dark energy happening. And I don't mean dark as in bad, I just mean dark as in deeper research type stuff. The Morrigan is calling. And I need to take note, apparently. So, yeah. So for this may well be my project for next year's planner class, I think. That would be fun. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go get something to eat now. I'm not really wanting to hang around for another hour when I hadn't planned to, and go and snuggle Miss Maddie because she's not very happy at the moment. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you on Saturday if you're coming along to that. Oh, we're going to see Alice Cooper tomorrow. Alice Cooper's amazing. I saw him in the NEC when he played with, I think it was Alice Cooper, Metallica and 9 Inch Nails. Oh my God, what a night. It was fantastic. Absolutely amazing. And it was absolutely filled to capacity. And it was so noisy. And just before Alice Cooper came on, he started with Stephen. And the whole place went dark. They turned off every single light. And when a single spotlight came on and it was Alice Cooper stood up at the top of these steps in his whole Stephen get-up. And that's all that happened was the opening notes of Stephen and the lights came on and everybody went completely quiet. You could have heard a pin drop. It was unbelievable. You're going to love it. Right. I'm going to put the please wait screen on now while the stream finishes and go off and get some food. We've got some casserole cooking in the kitchen, which would be nice. And I might share a sausage with Miss Maddie because she's all upset today. Thanks for joining me. See you Saturday. Don't forget, I will be here earlier Saturday. Nikki, if you're watching the replay, that'll be your time. So I'll probably do 8 till 10 Saturday morning, and then I'll try and do one later on in the day for the not early risers. Okay? See you again soon. Bye.